Good morning, everybody. Would you like to see where I live? Come on. And here it is. And this is my little yard. Here comes little Olive. Come here, Olive. Come. She loves it here. She loves her grass. Yep. You tell him. Tell him, Olive. She said, I love it here. This is our little seating area. I recently got these two Walmart chairs at a very good price. They sit very low, but to me they're very comfortable how they are. So got those. This is my old REI table I've had for a million years. And this is my little garden. Olive's little grass yard here. I've had this for many years. I bought it I'm on Amazon, and I got a good price on it. They tend to be quite expensive. The only problem with these rugs is they're big and heavy. So for now, this one is just stays here. It doesn't travel with me. And then this is my rock garden. This is my pet beetle. Just kidding. They're all over the place here. Sometimes they're huge and creepy. This is my little rock garden. Actually, I'll be right back. So I pick these up places I camp. If you spray them, most of them get more beautiful. Oh, sorry, bug, whatever that was. I was carrying around these, some of these in my van for a couple of years, which is kind of ridiculous to carry around a rock collection in a van. But this is where those little seedlings will eventually end up, in this Rubbermaid container that I got for $2. Yeah, so I'm going to have a nice little garden here for about $10. And, you know, a little bit of work, some love, but I enjoy that part. And then this is kind of like my little outdoor kitchen. It's my air fryer. It gets, you know, kind of hot if I have it inside in the summer. It's nice in the winter. If it's chilly, warm up my place a little bit, but in the summer I prefer to have it outside. So this is my little yard. And this is my house. Yes, it is a Class C RV. And I just absolutely am in love with it. I've had it now for 1 year. And yeah, I haven't really made many videos in the last year. So it's new. It's new to you. It's still fairly new to me. But I still, like I said, I still love it. So no, this is not a sticks and bricks house, and I'm sorry if you feel like I misled you. But I do feel like this is a house, especially after living in a van for 5 years. It feels like a house. It feels like a mansion. And no, this is not my land, as some of you might have recognized. This belongs to friends here, but it kind of feels like it. I don't feel like I own it, but I feel like I'm part of this place. And I also have the option to move around on this property, but this is sort of the spot that I've chosen and that I've you know, put a little bit of time into making my own. And it's nice that my house is not, you know, built into the ground because I have the ability to move my house, you know, whenever I want to. So I prefer this to a little cabin, even though when I think about it, it sounds fantastic, you know, romantic kind of, to have a little cabin somewhere. And, you know, maybe eventually I might have something like that, especially maybe as I get older. But
really, this works better for me right now in my lifestyle. And considering the resale value of these babies right now and probably in the near future, I could sell this and probably get all of my money back and even possibly more than what I paid for it. It seems like how it's going right now. Can you hear the cicadas? I didn't realize the desert had cicadas. I thought those were like a Midwest and East Coast kind of thing, or Southern kind of thing also, but not Southwest. I had no idea. But yeah, it really, it's the sound of summer. I kind of like it. Um, yeah, like I said the other day to somebody, all we need is the sound of the ice cream man going by. And yeah, it would really feel like summer here then.
And it does not have a slide out. I did not want a slide out. I was open to the idea if I couldn't find what I wanted without one. Yeah, a slide is just another thing to break. And yes, it is nice. It gives you a little extra room, space when you're parked, but I feel like I don't need it because it's such an upgrade for me already. I installed an extend stay, and so you can hook up an external propane tank and hook it up to your system, and you can keep your onboard tank fairly full, and then not have to move your whole rig to go get more propane. You can just take this bottle when it gets empty, and I call it a bottle. I guess it's called a tank, and take this to the store in my car, and that's a lot more practical. I don't have to move my RV almost ever. Oh, we have a little visitor. Hi, Moo. Yeah, you're a good girl. How you doing today, huh? Having a good day so far? Oh, I was getting jealous. Well, come on in. This is a house. It's really not a house, it's a home, I guess, of sorts. This is the couch, the living room, and this is Olive. And Olive loves nothing more than her couch. Yeah. This is my couch. She's like, why are you sticking that camera in my face? So this is where we sit. This is where I sit. This is my old guy who's had a back surgery pillow. And, oh, it's raining outside. It's been a weird day. It's been real warm, and then it got kind of cold and windy, and then rainy. So I might pause this actually, so you don't have to listen to that. That is how it sounds when it rains and you're in an RV. I think it's kind of a pleasant sound. It's a lot nicer than the van. The van was, rain on metal. And that it was a tinnier kind of sound, and I did not like that very much, but I like this sound. It's actually, I find it kind of soothing. So we're going to just sit here for a few minutes because the rain never lasts here for more than a few minutes at a time. It sounds like it's actually starting to slow down already. The rain usually lasts about 20 seconds or so. So we'll wait. We have time. It's really raining out there. Did I just see hail? I don't know. I think Mother Nature wants to make a liar out of me, and it's been raining now for a lot longer than normal. My plants are liking it. Way more weather than normal. It's kind of nice. It's kind of refreshing. Olive's not a big fan of the rain because she's a desert dog and doesn't really experience it very often. But, I'm from the Midwest where it rains all the time. And I kind of miss it. Oh, and the couch is even wet. All right, so I was saying, I think, this is my comfy pad that helps. Wow, it's starting up again. Oh, jeez. Okay, maybe I'll press on and hopefully it won't be too noisy. So this is our couch that folds out
it's a jackknife, folds out into a bed. It would have to be a fairly short person to sleep on this bed, or a couple of shorties. Underneath this bed, I have my battery system and my inverter. My whole electric system is under there. So I have Battle-Born batteries, which are lithium batteries. I have a Victron charge controller and Victron inverter, whole house inverters. It's one of the smart systems. It's great. I don't have to think about it. If I want to think about it, I have an app to look at every, minute detail of it. Wow, it's like majorly raining, but the sun is shining outside. I guess this is monsoon season in northern Arizona. I've never really experienced it, so here it is. Olive loves to sit on this stool thing here. If she's not lounging on the couch like a princess pug. Olive. she cracks me up. And then this is a Class C, so it's got the cab area and then the over cab area. Is that what this is called? A cab? I don't know. Where you sit and drive. This is actually Olive's kind of private bedroom. She likes to sleep up here when we're parked, at night. And what's above? It's my bed. My bedroom. You want to see? No, I lied. It's not my bedroom. It's my storage unit, actually. So this bed, this is where the man who owned this rig before me, this is where he slept. He put in a really nice mattress that's, and he used to climb up there, but he was also like 6'4", and I have, I'm 6 feet tall, but I have short little legs, and it's actually kind of challenging for me to get in and out of there. And although it's a lot of space, and I feel like mine is maybe a little bit higher than some, but I don't want to crawl up and down out of there when I'm tired. And Olive likes to sleep with me at least part of the night, like the late part into the morning. She sleeps with me, and there's no way in heck she could get up there. Look, that's really high. I do have a ladder. Obviously, Olive couldn't climb the ladder. I could climb the ladder, but again, when I'm sleepy, I don't want to climb the ladder. So what's up here? Kind of the normal stuff. The light that I can't find the cover to, so sorry, that's a little bright. Usually there's a nice little dimming cover, and then there's a little tiny window that opens. There is a nice, fantastic, is it a Fantastic fan? I forget. No, it's the other one. What is the other one? A Max Air fan. That's what that is. It's got a cover over it. Although it was raining so hard and at an angle, it actually did just kind of get wet in here, and that's not usual. I should close this. Actually, I think I'm going to close this. Yeah, it's not good for rain or moisture to be up inside of there. That could be really bad. I wish this had a remote. It does not. I have to reach up here and do it all by hand, which is kind of a pain in the backside. But again, he used to sleep up here, so it wouldn't be an issue for him to like adjust to the settings. This is just storage. And what do I keep up here? Mostly it's like towels and hats and clothes. This is like mostly the clothes that I'm currently wearing. I keep backup clothes other places, like warmer clothes that I don't need right now. This is my place for my appliances. Also, my big pan that doesn't fit in the oven or anything like that. This is my little drainer and my little silicone collapsible sink. My computer. Olive's things, including her outfits. That's her winter jacket. So what else? I do have all of the lights on in here. I don't really live with many lights on, but it is dark outside because it's stormy. So having the lights on is kind of nice. Although those are all LED lights, I still enjoy a good old incandescent light. And so I have one. It's only 15 watts. It doesn't take very much electricity. I have it on at night when I'm just kind of lounging around or whatever. This is my beautiful aloe plant that I have kept alive in an RV. Actually, for first couple of years of its life was in a van. But yeah, this poor thing gets jostled around and beat up, and I try to care for it as best as I can. But it still does really wonderfully. I really kind of love this plant. It's I like anything that sticks with me, you know, through the tough times. And it's nice to have plenty of windows and plenty of storage as well. I'm not going to show you inside here because it's really not very clean or organized in there. Well, it's fairly clean, but not organized. This is a super cute painting slash drawing painting. That is the sound of the water draining off the roof. That is not someone going to the bathroom. Anyway, that's of Olive. To me, it's very realistic. I love it. She captured Olive's personality very well. Did I say who did that? That's Becca. Becca made that for us. And so let me tell you just shortly about this space and this RV. The guy who owned it before me was the second owner. I do have my suspicions that before him it was owned by a rental company. I think this was a rental, which is fairly common when you buy a rig, that at one time it was used as a rental, but it wasn't used as a rental very long because I bought it, it only had 30,000 miles on it. But the young man who owned this before me made quite a few changes to it. So right here in this space would have been a large dinette or banquette or whatever you would call it. 2 bench seats and a table. And that would have collapsed down the table to make another bed. And he didn't need it. I really don't need it. I really like this because it gives me a lot more, square footage. Because this banquette that would have been here would have come way out to here. So it would have given me very tiny little place to walk and for Olive to walk around. So I enjoy this. And what this is he designed this to be desks. They just fold up. You can lock them into place. What he used to do, let me show you. He wouldn't lock these into place. He had like a desk chair, a rolling desk chair. It was very nice. And he sat higher than I am right now. And so this work surface just rested on his lap, and he used it just for, like his laptop. Like so. Oh. I was listening to music, I guess. Yeah, so there's 2 of them here, side by side. Kind of nice. Honestly, I don't find myself using them very often. Yeah, I like that it's flexible, and that it's convertible and it goes away, and I can have all this space and not have to think about a desk, not have to walk around it, So that's kind of like the living quarters. Let me show you something. It's something that everyone really finds interesting and cool. I mean, I don't know. I'm a little indifferent to it, but it is different, and people find it kind of exciting. So maybe you will too. Let me show you. It's a nice piece of furniture. It's a real one big slab of wood on the top. It's stained in the walnut. I don't know if it's actually walnut wood or not. But it's a nice, beautiful color of wood, and he, like I said, he made it with his uncle, who's a furniture builder or something like that. And if you press this little remote here, one more time. Look, it's magic. And what's hiding inside of this piece of furniture? Or who is hiding inside of this piece of furniture? Look, it's my friend Lindy. And she's eating ice cream, or talking about ice cream. Just in case you didn't know, this is my friend Lindy, or as I call her, Malind. And She's in my most watched video of her living in a small vehicle. She now lives in a minivan, as you can see, and she is getting back on the road after a year-long hiatus. She's transitioning from living in basically an apartment type living to living back in a minivan. So just in case you didn't know, you should go and watch. Her channel is called Living the Life Lindy. Living the Life Lindy. And bye, Lindy. And it's simple as that. She's back in my cabinet. Just kidding. So yeah. And it also has some nice storage on the side here. And down at the bottom are the controls for the awning and the lights and things. Here is my refrigerator and freezer. I am so excited about this. This was one of the main things. He had the corner bed gone. He took the mattress out. And what he did was he built one fancy bike rack, which he offered to let me have if I wanted it, and I just had no use for it because I planned to sleep back there, and that's what I do. So he had a bike rack back there, and then he had a dog crate or dog kennel also back there. And yeah, so what I did was I just went ahead and left that mattress up top, and I took my mattress from my van and put it in the corner. I will show you how that works. It works okay for me and Olive, but it wasn't a perfect fit. So I do have plans in the future, probably to take that mattress, which is still very new. I think he used it for less than a year, and put it back in the corner bed, but I will have to cut it. So when I became a nomad, living on the road, I got rid of 99.9% of my belongings. I had so much stuff. Not that long before I moved onto the road, I was living in a 4-bedroom, 3-story house. But this is one of the things that I kept, and I know it's kind of an outdated thing. It's from probably the 40s, 50s, who knows. But I thought it was kind of cute. I liked it because when I bought my first house, it was on a street with the word castle in it. It was Newcastle. And I just thought that was kind of cute, and I held on to it. So some personal items like magnets, pictures. There's my beautiful mother, my beautiful niece who was in the army, her pals Snoopy and Woodstock, Blue Van Dan. This is from the Modern Art Museum in Chicago. Art washes from the soul, the dust of everyday life. I love that. This is a funny little guy that makes me smile. Some of my travels, well, just a... Oop. Sorry. Yikes. Okay. These aren't necessarily my favorite places, but they're just kind of my favorite magnets that I've collected. So it's Warsaw, and that's the official protector of the city of Warsaw, I think. Berlin. I actually do love Berlin. That is one of my favorite places in Europe, favorite cities anyways. And Krabi, Thailand. Thailand is one of my favorite places to travel in the world. I've been there a few times. And then just various other stuff. David Bowie, he's definitely one of my favorites. So the kitchen, I have a 3-burner stove, which is kind of like the normal thing you get in an RV, but you don't always see ovens. And I was very happy to find one with an oven. It turns out I just don't use it. I use my air fryer instead. I have enough power that I can use an air fryer no problem and not use the propane. So it ends up being less expensive for me. But it's nice to have just in case I ever, do Thanksgiving dinner in my RV, which probably will never happen. One thing I thought I would never use, but I actually do use occasionally, is the microwave. It's a small one, which is fine. I have a Post-it just because I like to sleep in the absolute darkness, and that covers some of the light. Yeah, I'm weird in certain ways. That's one of the ways I'm weird. So I use this to cook sweet potatoes mostly, and so a couple times a week. I have this nice little space up here that I keep supplements. And no counter space. This is the extent of it on either side of the stove here. So what I did was put this cutting board, which I had this cutting board when I had a house, but it just happens to fit perfectly, and it has a lip on it, kind of keeps it in place. And yeah, so this is a two-sided sink. This side over here is actually the larger side, but I use that for storage for things I don't need. And then I use this as my counter space, and it works out well. I'm happy to have, even though it's only, 20 inches of counter space or whatever. I don't know. You probably don't need to look inside all my cabinets, but they are good size. Yeah, I reuse kimchi kimchi jars for everything. I mean, this is my Tupperware, my drinking glasses. I do have a plastic cup and a coffee mug, but that's about it. And then, yeah, I cram lots of stuff in here. And I don't even really need as much as I have, but I do have the space. So one of these days I'll probably go in and just eliminate a whole bunch of that. But for now, it works. Up here, this cabinet locks, which is nice, so it doesn't open when we drive. I probably shouldn't be carrying this much weight up top because it's better to carry the weight in the RV lower. But it's not super full, really. It's just kind of like what you see back behind. So this is my bedroom. I don't make my bed almost ever. And why? Because everything clashes. It's extremely ugly. But it's comfortable. I actually don't even use this blanket. It's way too warm. There's probably 5 nights a year that I might use it because it gets chilly, in winter. It is a nice soft blanket, but it's too warm. So, and this kind of ugly blanket over here, this brown one, is where Olive sleeps. And it's her favorite blanket, and that's why we keep it up here. But yeah, she doesn't always stay in her little area. She manages to take up most of the bed, even though she weighs 200 pounds less than I do. Yeah, but all these patterns are just clashing and pretty tacky looking, aren't they? Over there, this thing, it actually, if you take it out, it's the size of it's the size of this whole bed. It's like a twin. It's like a body pillow, but it's more of like a mattress pad almost. I don't know what you'd call it, but I use it just kind of like that. It's folded over on itself, and it's pushed into this crack, this space that's between the mattress and the window, because this mattress is the one that was from my van, and it's extra long. Twin, so it does fit head to toe, side to side. There's big spaces, so anyway, so this thing fills up that gap, and it's also just nice to kind of lay up against it sometimes. And yeah, and it also blocks some of the draftiness from the window if it's cold outside. So it has multiple purposes, which most things in an RV or a van need kind of to be multi-purposed. So that's the bed, and you can see I have a few little odds and ends over there. And over there is, I was going to call it a refrigerator. That's my little humidifier, which I run at night usually, and it helps a lot. Even in the summer, it's pretty dry, even though it rains, but the air typically is still pretty dry. And you can see signs of that in your skin and in your sinuses and all that kind of stuff. So up above, well, I do have another fan up here, but this is a huge cabinet for storage up above my bed, and really, mostly what's in there is I have my empty suitcase and a bit of my extra clothing that I'm not currently wearing. Yeah, I don't use the bathroom very much. But what I meant to say is I don't really use the shower. I'm not somebody who spends a lot of time in this room. I know some people Some people might think it's too small. They like to spend a lot of time back here, but it suits me just fine because it's tiny. I don't need it to be any bigger. It's got what it needs. I don't use the shower. As you can see, it's used for storage. And right now, I mostly just have a huge amount of plastic jugs for water. I just have to go through there and get rid of and recycle some of those. And then I have my hamper back in there. Especially like where I'm parked now, there's an outdoor communal shower here. All private, of course. I use that because it's actually a nicer experience. I am a member of a gym, so I go to the gym and shower too. I just don't use this shower very much. Got one of those kind of cheap ceiling fans that come with RVs, but it works okay. It has a little fan and a fly on it. Yuck. This one is a big skylight, which I thought was great at first, but it ends up bringing in a lot of cold air and hot air when you don't want either. Like hot days, it's very hot. Cold days, it's very cold. So I just jammed a piece of insulation board up in there. It's not a perfect fit. It does seem to help a little bit. It makes it a little darker in here, which I don't know. Whatever. Like I said, I don't really spend a lot of time in here. So yeah, and then a nice big mirror and a little tiny sink, but I got an okay amount of counter space, about the same as the kitchen. And yeah, I don't need to show you any more of this stuff, I don't think. And a nice storage cabinet in the corner. It holds lots of stuff if you want. So thanks for watching this little tour of my little house. Yeah, I called it a house. I don't care. It feels like a house to me. It is so comfortable. Olive and I are so happy in it. We couldn't be happier. Being in a van for 4.5 years was fun. Well, that's... I should change that. I had some fun times in that van. And being in a van, you're able to go places and get around quicker and easier and go further and have more adventures in a van. But after getting a dog, having major back surgery and having to go through recovery and then getting sick a few times, a van is no place for that. It was awful. And I was ready to move on. So I did consider going back and living in an apartment or something, or I don't know. I considered lots of different things. And I just wasn't done doing what I'm doing and living this lifestyle and having adventures. So I felt like this was a good, it kind of covers both bases. Like I can take this rig and park it in an RV park somewhere, get a job. I can hook up to the electricity and run an air conditioner for Olive if I need to. I have a furnace, it's more like a house, in that way. So, and if I decide that I'm not ready to park this thing somewhere for long periods of time, then I can still drive it all around. But for now, I'm happy parking it, not in an RV park, but in this off-grid homestead. And when I'm ready to travel, I will travel in my vehicle, not my RV, but my vehicle, and camp. I can camp inside my car. That will be another video I'll show you. And I have a really great tent, so I've got options. And then when winter comes and it gets sub-zero and snowy and kind of crazy weather here, I'm headed south. Chances are, because of gas prices, I'm just going to head to the closest place where it's going to be nice, which is only a few hours from here. And I'm going to stay in one place there too. So, and again, I'm going to travel in my car when I'm feeling it. So this is my house, and thanks for being here. I'm sure I'll make more videos about it.